there, thanks for checking in with MeetYourSweet.com. Have you ever been in a situation with a woman where everything seems to be just going so great, but then the longer you stick around, the more uncomfortable and the more awkward things seem to get? Believe it or not, this is actually a very common occurrence, and it typically happens for a particular reason. And that reason? It's called hovering. This is something that a lot of guys do without even realizing they're doing it. It feels perfectly natural at the time, but the only problem is it really tends to put women off. Here's what usually happens. You and a girl are in a conversation and everything's going really great. So you decide to stick around a little bit longer and milk the situation for all it's worth. Sound normal? Well, it is to a certain extent, but the troublesome part is that if you follow this approach where you hang around as long as things are going well, it actually means that you end up sticking around until things go bad. And leaving on a sour note is one way to turn a great flirtation into a non-event. So here's what I suggest, that you impose an end point to all your conversations with women. A great rule of thumb is to always be the one who ends the conversation. Don't just hang around until she makes an excuse to leave. Get in, make an impression, and get out while things are still great. This is going to do one of two things. First of all, it leaves her with the best possible impression of you. If you leave when things are going really well, she's going to be left with an impression of you formed at a really good point in the conversation, and she's going to wish you would stick around longer. And reason number two, it proves that you're not needy and it makes you really look like a guy with a lot of options. If you're capable of leaving a conversation with a woman, especially when things are going really well, that makes a really strong statement that you got a lot going on in your life. You're not one of those guys who hovers and makes women uncomfortable, and that clearly you've got a lot of options going on. Here's something that can help you make a great exit. You create an exit point before you actually need to use it. A great way to do this is to open a conversation with a woman by saying, hey, you know what, I gotta catch up with my friends in a few minutes, but, and then you get on with what you had to say. This is a great way of really prepping her to enjoy the conversation as much as possible. Why? Because she knows you're not going to be sticking around for the rest of the night, so she's free to enjoy your company without worrying about how she's gonna get rid of you later on. Next time you're talking to a woman, remember this. If you let things get to the stage where you're wondering if you should wrap things up, you've definitely left it too long. To create more attraction, always be the first one to leave and try starting your conversations with a self-imposed endpoint. You'll be amazed at the difference in the quality of your conversations and interactions with women. For more great tips on dating and attraction, feel free to check out the website at meetyoursweet.com/men. And thanks for checking in.